Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me thank you for the time given to me. And let me introduce myself and also my partner. My name is Nabilah Alya and my partner, Revina Avanti. We are from University of PGRI Ronggolawe, Tuban. In this occasion, I am as the representative of our team. Will explain to you about our paper entitled An Analysis of Illocutionary Act on Oprah Winfrey's commencement speech at Harvard. Okay, now let me explain to you about the background why we done this study. As we know, people communicate to convey their thought into forms of words, and while they are communicate with others, they not only expect the hearers to understand each of the words they convey, but further, they want the hearers to understand their intention. And in order to grasp the meaning of the sentences uttered by the speakers and interpret them, hearers should pay the attention to the broader features rather than merely pay the attention into the word meaning. Realizing this phenomenon, T.L. Austin coined speech act theory in 1962, which enables us to understand the meaning and the intention carried out by a language that uttered by the speaker. The speech act, which proposed by Austin, has three categories. First is locutionary act. This is the act of pronouncing sounds. And then second, we have illocutionary act. This is the act attributed to the effort of uttering sentences. And then the last is perlocutionary act. This is the act in which the speaker longing a certain response from the words they deliver to the hearer. And further, Austin student Shirley developed the illocutionary act and give us a clearer categories of this kind of speech act. And types of illocutionary act proposed by Shirley in 1976 are assertive, which have explanation as the type of illocutionary act in which the speaker conveys their belief about some proportion of the world. Some examples of this kind of illocutionary act are describing, claiming, and concluding. And next we have directive, in which this kind of illocutionary act when the speaker directs the hearer to do something. Examples from this type of illocutionary act are ordering, asking, requesting, and etc. And next we have commissive. In this type of illocutionary act, speaker commits himself for doing something to some future course. The examples of this type of illocutionary act are promising, threatening, offering, and etc. And next we have expressive. In this type of illocutionary act, the speakers express how they feel about a certain situation in this world. Some examples from this, like thanking, apologizing, welcoming, and etc. And then last, we have declarative. This kind of illocutionary act can change the situation of the world via the utterance of the speaker. So one of the example of this when some boss fire their employee. And based on that background, we done this study, and these are our objective of the study. First, we want to identify illocutionary act which are implied by Oprah in her commencement speech at Harvard. And second, we want to find the most dominant type of illocutionary act which are implied by Oprah in her commencement speech at Harvard. In doing this study, we use qualitative research, which is a suitable method to help us to conduct this research. More specifically, the researcher applies content analysis to help the researchers to answer the research question. And these are our findings. There were 39 illocutionary acts performed by Oprah during her commencement speech at Harvard. First, we have representative or assertive. We found 6 times of representative and assertive done by Oprah on her commencement speech. And one of the examples, we put it on our PPT, and let me give some short explanation why we classify these utterances into representative. So, through the sentence, the speaker expressed the general truth that believed by many people that going to Harvard is not only way to make people become successful, but it really helps. I mean, a lot. And then next is commissive. We found 5 times of commissive act on her commencement speech. One of them, we already put it on our PPT also, and here are the short explanation why we put it into commissive act. By uttering the sentence, the speaker shows her attention to be journalist in the future. She commits to herself to a certain idea in the future, and based on Shirley theory, this belongs to commissive. And next we have directive, and we found 14 utterances. And the explanation for this is, through the sentence, the speaker intends the hearer to a certain action, she said, and the condition match with the illocutionary act type directive. And next we have expressive. We found 13 times of this act on her commencement speech. In the sentence, the speaker expressed her thought about how thankful she is to be invited to give commencement speech to the Harvard graduate. According to Shirley theory, the state where the speaker expressed their feeling towards a certain situation belong to assertive. And then last, we have declarative. We just found 1 time of this act on her commencement speech. Based on that utterance, Oprah retells the experience she had about her new program, which with 1 sentence, it could totally change her life. The sentence Oprah delivered on her commencement speech was said by some media outlets which have a power to drive society's concern to a certain condition. And by release the news, it changed Oprah's condition where the society no longer admire her shows. And when the speaker says something and it changes some certain condition to this world, it belongs to declarative. And based on those findings, we try to find the most dominant type of illocutionary act, and the result shows that directive is the most dominant type of illocutionary act performed by Oprah on her commencement speech. In conclusion, after analyzing the data, conclusions are drawn as the following. First, there are 5 types of illocutionary acts, such 6 or 15.4% for representative or assertive, 5 or 12.8% for commissive, and 14 directive utterances or 35.9%, and then also 13 utterances which contain expressive type of illocutionary act or 33.3%. And then the last is 1 utterances contain declarative or 2.6%. And second, based on the transcript, the researcher found that the dominant type of illocutionary act on the speech by Oprah is directive. And the last, in commencement speech, the speaker will mostly give advices to the hearer about how they must live their life after graduation. The act which intends the hearer to do something is directive. That's why the most dominant type of illocutionary act in this research is directive. I think that's all the explanation we can give to you about the study done by us. Of course, we realize that we have some lack of information and anything, so we really do hope your criticism and your opinion about research done by us. This is Dalas. I say thank you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.